There I am. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Midlife Mojo Monday. Here we're doing a little bit later than usual, another week in a row. Hopefully, next week I'm back on track, and everybody else's obligations toward everybody else's things aren't going to get in my way and my schedule. And we'll be back on track for 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Mondays, which is my typical time. But for those of you who are tuning in with me live today or watching on the replay, I do appreciate you understanding that just life sometimes happens and we've got to be there. Today it was for my dad, last week it was for my son. It's just always something, right? So, anyways, for those of you who are new to the Midlife Mojo group and it's your first time watching a Midlife Mojo Monday, as I said, I go live here every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I typically do some kind of either education or a demonstration or a DIY project or maybe interview somebody anywhere from 10 to 30, 35 minutes, however, depends on how much I get rolling and how much I get talking. But I do appreciate you guys watching. And if there's any topics that come up that are really on your heart and your mind, that would be fabulous if you could shoot me off a message and let me know because it helps me just think of topics. It's hard to come up every single week with a topic that I know people want to hear about. So when I hear from you guys directly, there's something that you want to learn more about that inspires me if I don't know enough about it to go learn a little bit more and then impart that knowledge to you. So definitely please share. And then also for those of you who have no clue who I am, you maybe just bought one of my products over at the aroma sharing event. So welcome, welcome. My name is Jill Lebofsky, and I am the owner of Midlife Mojo. And this is an education, support, and resource center for women over 40. And my mission is really just to empower women naturally so that they thrive during these years and not just like feel like they're surviving and not or something they just have to kind of get through if they can even get through it. I want women really to think of these midlife years as a time of their life where it's kind of like their second coming and that they can really just be whoever they want to be, natural in their skin and finding natural solutions for that. So I am a health coach. I've been a Pilates instructor, a health coach, mom, all these great things. Mostly my career has worked with women who are over 40. Part of that probably is because I live here in South Florida. So we have a lot of women who are older in this area. So probably most of my clientele and both my Pilates practice as well as my health coaching practice over the years have been in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s range. So that's kind of the group that's always had a near and dear hold on my heart, I think. But it wasn't until I entered my own 40s and then I just entered 50 just in April that I really started to understand where these women were coming from and that a lot of the struggles that they had that maybe I didn't quite understand as a 20, 30 something year old when the people were telling me they were working out, telling me they were exercising, and yet things weren't changing with their bodies and so forth. And it wasn't until I hit this age myself that I really got it. I got how the hormones can really wreak havoc on your body, how they can wreak havoc on your mind, and how we just really are all of us looking for ways to look and feel our best ultimately. So today's topic, actually, I should start off with this week's topic. Every week, starting just a couple of weeks ago, I started to do a theme of the week. So you'll just see that usually my live will have something to do with the theme of the week. And then that theme will be somewhat carried loosely throughout the posts during the week. So this week's theme is firsts. And we, as midlife women, we've had lots of firsts in our lives, right? We've had first jobs, first kisses, all those things. Most firsts are something memorable, something get excited about, something that like I said, we remember for a lifetime. But today we're going to talk about a first that maybe for some of you, maybe not so pleasant. And that's that first day back at the gym or that first day back on the exercise horse, just trying to get yourself motivated to go to the gym or motivated to put on exercise clothes and put on a video, whatever it may be. Hold on, I want to take this off so I can go full screen. There we are. So that's what we're going to be talking about today is some different tips that I can give you to help you just kind of if you are ready to get back into your workout mode, some things that you can do to do it safely. And Don't get me wrong. I mean, for some, the first day of the workout, for a lot of us, it's pretty invigorating. It's pretty inspiring. I mean, right? We've made this commitment to finally get up and go and get there, right? It kind of gives us this new resolve. Is anybody in that position? Has anybody, I know, well, I mean, probably we're not going to the gym these days, although around here in Florida, they have started to reopen, right? So sometimes that resolve, is something that can kind of keep us going, thinking about where we're going to be, what we're going to look like in the next few months. But the reality for some of us, actually getting up off the couch, going, putting on those clothes, getting in the car, driving there. I know for a lot of you, maybe you live in places. No, I guess we're already in June, so everybody should be, I guess, a little bit warmer weather now. But depending upon what season it is, especially if you have a winter or cold time, it's hard to motivate if it's dark out in the morning or dark out at night. There's a lot of things that kind of hold us back from maybe kind of sticking with our exercise routine. So I hope today that you guys will just kind of, think about, well, maybe it's time to sort of kind of get tiptoe back into my exercise routine. I'm curious, anybody listening out there, where are you right now? Are you in your exercise world? Are you exercising during this whole stay at home quarantine? Did you throw in the towel and just forget it? Were you exercising right before and then stopped? Were you never exercising? Kind of where are you in your exercise journey? And no shame anywhere you are. I always be the first to tell people when I am totally off the wagon. And that's definitely where I've been for a few weeks of exercise. I've been very focused on my aroma sharing event and getting everything done. And, I was putting that on the back burner a little bit. But that's it. I keep telling myself, that's it. I got to get motivated. So tomorrow, right? I keep saying, as always, tomorrow. And so, whatever it is, we're going to talk about easing back into working out mode to physically and mentally make it happen and make it happen successfully. All right. So, let me take a quick little drink here. And while I'm taking a quick drink, think about this question for a moment. Why do you think that first step back into the gym or back into just working out, whatever it may be, just back into exercise mode? Why do you think that first step is so hard? Think about that for a minute. Let me know. All right. All right. So it is the top 10 things that I kind of came up with for things that I'd love for people to do to kind of ease their way back in. I guys don't know. Right now I have a humongous dog fight going out right outside my door, my window here. I don't know if you can hear. I have these new handy dandy ear headphones. I never used headphones before. I feel so professional. It's supposed to block out the noise. So let me know if you're hearing my dogs freak out with the other neighbors because that's why I bought these things. So that I'm curious to see if they work. But anyways, all right. See, this has totally lost my train of thought. Barbara, you're there. I see you. Oh, okay. There's literally, hold on. There we go. Oh, Barbara, I started a little before COVID happened at a rec center. Now I'm doing beach body. My cousin just let me her code, which is very nice for her beach body. So I did try it out last week for the first time. I liked it. I was thinking that's what I was going to try too. I did just give up my membership at the YMCA. It may be open, but I just can't bring myself quite right now to go to the gym. So I gotta definitely just find something that's fun and motivating, and I'll do regular. And I used to do beach body and love it, so it's just a matter of getting there. And then somebody else is beeping in. I don't know. It says, we've been on lockdown for almost 3 months. So you haven't been exercising. You haven't clicked my link so I can see your name. So just tell me what your name is so I know who I'm talking to. I'd love that. But yeah, I mean, lockdown, that can do it for a lot of us. I mean, my exercise routine is just off and on. It really is hard. I think stress makes it difficult, different routines. Some of you are working from home. Some of you are now going back to work and trying to figure out how to get back into that. There's a lot going on for us all. So, for those of you who are ready to start easing yourself back into the workout routine, number one rule that I always say, especially if you are somebody who's never worked out or it's been a real long time, like 3 months, right? Our bodies have kind of started to kind of go back to a little bit the way they were. They're not as strong and limber and flexible as they used to be. So, don't overdo it, right? We all kind of, when we get that first day back, we're all motivated and we got our butts there. So we kind of, we're like go crazy, right? We stay at the gym for 2 hours. We do the treadmill, and then we do we take a class, and then maybe we go and we do some weights, and we go a little bit crazy. right? But the problem is, right? We know what the problem is, right? A few hours later, when you go to like sit down on the toilet or get up off the toilet, if you even can, right? And everything just hurts. You go to like blow dry your hair and you can barely even move your hand behind you the next day. You know you've overdone it. And what happens when that happens? Well, a couple things happen. All that resolve to get into this 3 or 4 time a week routine goes out the door. You don't have it anymore because all of a sudden, you've hurt yourself, so you can't go back the next couple of days. Maybe you've really hurt yourself and now you're not going back for a couple of weeks, gosh, and even knows if more. But also, you've kind of mentally thrown yourself a little bit as well, right? Maybe you've kind of decided, "Oh, right, it's only been a couple of months since I've been at the gym. I'm just going to go back and take that advanced Zumba class I had been taking. I can do that." And you jump in, and then after like 5 minutes, you are struggling. And so, what does that do to you mentally, right? It kind of makes you feel bad. It kind of discourages you. So, I really think that's better just to build back up, right? And just into a routine rather than dive headfirst. That is my number one. Somebody else is saying, "Hi, Jill." So for those of you who are on here and you're new, and I don't know if I put it on the last link I had. It may not, I don't think it's in here, but I will make sure to next time. There's just a link that you have to click, then my streaming service can accept your name, and then I can see who's commenting when I'm using my streaming service. Otherwise, it just says Facebook user, or just write your name and I'll know who's talking to me. Either way. All right. So, number two, begin with a schedule that works for you, right? There's nothing that's worse than setting yourself up for failure, saying, "Oh, I'm going to work out 5 times this week," but you haven't even looked at your schedule and saw all the things that were coming up that might make it difficult to get there. Right. Plus, I think 5 times a week, that's like aiming high. A little, sometimes that's coming out of the gate again, a little bit too strong. Some of you, it won't be an issue, but for most of us, it is. Right. You kind of if so what I want you to make sure you do, if you then what happens if like you say, "I'm gonna work out 5 times a week," and you only make it once a week? Sometimes people get that like, "Well, screw it" attitude. Like, "See, I'm a loser. I can't do it. I said I could and I can't." Forget the whole thing. All right. Not everybody, but some people definitely go down that rabbit hole. They let one little thing derail them, right? Or they use it as that excuse. Okay. It can kind of go either way, right? Sometimes when we make a commitment and we don't live up to it, we find these excuses not to, but sometimes we do our best and then we also let that derail us. So have a schedule, be realistic that works for you. Maybe it's just once a week for the first week, and maybe it's twice a week, and then you build up to the week three, whatever it is, but do something that you're going to stick with. That's the most important thing and be consistent with. Of course, life gets in the way here and there, but for the most part. All right. So, next one, and this is a big one for me being the Pilates instructor, right? Is I want to make sure that people are stretching, whether it's your first day back, your first week back, or it's literally you're always working out, and you haven't stopped at all. Stretching before and after is really important. It's important in terms of reducing your risk of injury. It keeps us flexible. It just helps our body get lubricated so that when we're ready to start pounding it a little bit harder, it's ready for us. It needs what do we call it? Stretching's a little foreplay for the body before you start working out, pretty much. You can do different things like just little things like rolling the shoulders back both directions, tilting the head. As you notice when I'm doing that, I'm not tilting my whole body, I'm just tilting the head. You can drop your chin to your chest and then turn an ear to the floor. Can't really see, it's hard to do, but if your hands are out, arms are out straight, you can just keep your body and twist your body. You can do some arm circles. You can roll down and touch your toes and roll back up. Lots of different things. You can look online for some stretches, but I highly recommend stretching right before for just 5 minutes or so, and then taking 5 or so minutes at the end. Personally, I don't know. Who likes to stretch? That's my favorite part. My husband used to say years ago when I first became a Pilates instructor, "You just took that job because you like to stretch and gab." Not so far off of the truth, probably, but we do what we love. And so if that's what I love to do, oh well, I'm helping other people along the way. And then you want to make sure, though, as we're kind of talking about the stretching, that you want to make sure your entire workout is well rounded when you get back into it. So some people, they just kind of they just do the treadmill. That's it. That's all they do, and they don't do any other thing. Well, that's good. Treadmill's good. Women over 50, number one killer is heart disease, so it's good for cardiovascular. Absolutely. But if you don't couple that with doing some weights, either body weights or resistance work, and build up the muscles, then really you're cheating yourself. All right. Our bodies need to have that strength training and resistance so we can have some lean muscle mass so we can burn more calories. We also know, if you've read my books, that we tend to lose lean muscle mass if you're not exercising and you're not keeping it up. So, if you're not doing resistant work, so we want to make sure we're doing that. You lose that as you age. So, lots of reasons why you want to make sure that it's well rounded. You want to start off with a stretch. You want to make sure there's some cardio work in there, something to get your heart rate up, whatever that may be for you, bicycling, jogging in place, whatever it may be, walking briskly. Then you want to add in your body weights, your workout, things like that, and then end with your cool down. In my books, I recommend doing HIIT workouts, HIIT, which are our high impact intensity interval workouts. And so within that, you can incorporate weights, you can incorporate body weight exercises, you can start off with that stretch and that cool down. So look for those. And if you want any more suggestions for those, I'm certainly happy to give them. Just ask. Let me take a quick drink here, real quick. All right. So, kind of moving on from stretching, I just mentioned the reasons why I want you to start doing some resistant work and some weights work. But it's really important to go slow. I would much prefer, especially for women, we're not looking to bulk up. I would much prefer you do more reps with lighter weights than do real heavy weights and do less. I mean, it obviously depends upon what you're going for, but for most women, we're just looking to tone our arms, to kind of to strengthen them, to be able to have for them to look nice and so forth. So I highly recommend anywhere from about a 1 to 5 pound weights. What I sometimes feel is, unless you've got some shoulder issues and things like that, maybe 1 pound weights. Most of us can do at least 2 pounds to that 5 pound range. When you get into that 8 or 10 pounds, build up to that. And if you can do 2 or 3 sets with that, then great. But if you can't do at least 3 sets with 5 pounds, and when I say 3 sets, do 10 to 15 of an exercise that you're doing, then stick right where you are. Again, I'd rather do 3 to 5 sets at 2 to 3 pounds than do 10 pound weight and hurt my shoulder, hurt my neck, whatever it may be. You hear see this, like, as maybe it's my Pilates instructor in me, maybe it's the fact that I myself have hurt myself many times with exercise. I have significant low back issues that I've had over the years, herniated discs. So I've worked out a lot and I've hurt myself a lot. I've had trainers who've hurt me a lot. I've done stupid things. So, and Pilates was the first thing that I ever did that didn't hurt me. And I had wonderful instructors who I just grew to love and trust. And so I'm always very, whether I'm in person with people or giving advice about exercise, my first and foremost is always keeping you guys safe. So go slow, and with those weights and so forth. I personally love body weight exercises like push ups and squats and tricep dips and things like that. I personally love those the best. So, kind of speaking of keeping you safe, right? How many of you guys who are working out have ever hurt yourself because you thought you were doing an exercise right, and then you find out afterwards you weren't doing it anymore? Isa, your Facebook user. Thank you. All right, I appreciate you telling me your name there. Makes it so much easier to, like, feel like I'm having a conversation with somebody. So no more lockdown, but the dance studio you've been going to is still closed. Yeah, that around here too in Florida, we really are starting to open up things. Some of my friends have yoga studios that are starting to open up and so forth. So Dawn, Dawn, hello. How are you? I know you don't get to see me in the afternoons anymore. So you're back. And Barbara, you love Pilates too. Yeah, Pilates, I mean, I'll just give my little toot for Pilates there, but it's the one exercise that you can do forever. I had clients in my 80s, even I had a client who was 94 years old who came to me and we did Pilates, modified versions, but we did it. It's one of those few things you really can do for life. So I do love it. All right. So, and the reason why I love Pilates is because it really focuses on your form, and you can do a million of like one exercise in the wrong form, and then you're not even getting the benefit, and you're going to hurt yourself. Or with Pilates, or with just any kind of exercise, if you really focus that mind in your body and get into your core and make that movement come from your center and do it right. In Pilates, for those of you who do it, we only do between 3 and 12 reps, and we usually only do one set, at least how I teach. Okay. You don't have to do a lot of workout if you do it right and you're in good form. And so, does anybody have a trainer at all? Has anybody worked with a trainer or have a personal trainer? If you haven't ever worked with a trainer, I highly suggest it. And if you're starting fresh, even if just a couple of sessions, if you can afford a couple of sessions just to get you going, I think it's really important. Just if they can kind of set you up to make sure you're safe, to watch you, to teach you, make sure your form, make sure if you're doing push-ups, your belly's not sagging, make sure if you're doing, weights up here, you don't have your, shoulders all crinched up, hurting your neck. It's just another set of eyes on you. So I really do highly suggest, whether if you can't, do the personal trainer, then maybe starting off a really small studio, where it's just a small group class where at least the instructor doesn't have a lot of people to watch and they can really give you that personal attention. You can talk to that instructor one on one, that trainer, and tell them your issues. Let them, know where your limitations are. And so that's, I really think having a personal trainer is really important. But there's also the flip side of the trainer, or the flip side of the personal at the, the front of the room teaching a group class, right? They're there, their job, they're being paid. You were paying them to motivate you. Their job is to push you. But it's your job to know your body and to listen to your body and to not be pushed past the point. I will never forgive myself. As I've said, I've had many back problems for since I was 18. These were not like new issues. And when I was in my 30s, I had really gotten them under control. And I joined one of these places, where it's like you do a lot of circuits really fast, and you do a lot of work, a lot of like heavy lifting of like real big barbells, and like what are those things are? What are they called? I can't even remember. But you know what I'm talking about? Like they do in the Olympics, all these kinds of things. I don't know who the heck I thought I was, but I got some free 5 day or 5 week thing. So I decided to do it with all these cute, college kids, 20 something year old guys teaching you, and, girls with their perfect little 20 something little bodies, and me wanting to prove myself. And they always like, oh, come on, you can do more. And because I was on the outside, and, skinny, I was in that sense, they didn't realize I had all these issues. And let's face it, 20-year-olds, they don't have any clue what's going on for us 50, 60, 70-year-old bodies, 40-year-olds, even 40-year-old bodies. They don't really have any clue. They can't even imagine. Just like I couldn't imagine with my clients when they were telling me things, in my 50 and 6-year-old clients, and I was in my 20s and 30s. You think you know, but they don't. So nobody knows your body better than you. No trainer, no professional, nobody. So don't let anybody push you past your brink. But also, you kind of know the difference between when you're just kind of throwing in the towel because you're tired, and when your back is spasming. There is definitely a difference. So know that difference. That's my little, you know, we love our trainers, but we gotta love ourselves first and listen to our bodies first. And so maybe what you need to motivate is to work out with a friend. Does anybody have that? I know one of the girls in our group, Rhonda. She works out with her friends all the time, and I think for a lot of people that's really motivating. It keeps you accountable when you've got friends to kind of work with you. I personally am the complete opposite. I personally don't like to work out with people I know. I love to do group classes, but with nobody I know. That's the way I like to work out. I just don't like to, I don't know. That's just how I've always been. I think that I focus more. I'm not there to kind of socialize as much. It's hard enough to get to the gym. I'm there to do my stuff and get out. I'm not people, when you are a Pilates instructor, you're in the health and fitness world, people maybe have this image of what you're supposed to be, or maybe I think people have this, everybody's looking at me, and I always say I'm just Jill. I'm not, this person who is this, super athlete, athlete and me are not two synonymous terms at any way, shape, or form. So I've always just liked to do my own thing. But for a lot of people, working out with a friend, taking a class with a friend. I've got two friends, and they go to each other's house in the morning at 6 a.m. and they work out and do a video together. So whatever gets you there. And now I do think an accountability partner is important if you are somebody who does struggle to get your butt up off the couch, knowing you've got somebody maybe, who you've promised that you're going to walk with, even whether it's dark, whether it's cold, you've promised them you're going to be out there at 6 a.m. and you don't want to leave them hanging dry. That's kind of a good thing too. So, Dawn, you have to get me. You started back up. Yep. I gotta think on this. I may do some kind of challenge in here in the next, maybe in July or something, just, a week long challenge, something just to kind of motivate us all for the summer. Here in Florida, it's like 95 degrees and you can see my Florida humid hair. It's hard getting working out, but that's okay. All excuses. We all can figure out things to do. So another thing that's important though is to redefine exercise for yourself. So for some of you, I know you were runners when you were younger, or I know that maybe some of you were in the military and you did some really tough exercise. And maybe that's not the type of exercise that's appropriate for you anymore. I'm still hanging on there with my running. I told my husband the other day, I think we've got to go get our bikes fixed up. I really think I have to switch over to the bikes and hang up my running shoes. Maybe not 100%, but I can't be a regular form of exercise for me in my body anymore. So I've got to redefine that. I've got to kind of find something new. Maybe, it's taking, the dog for a walk, and every other house you do walking lunges. Maybe that's how you get it in. Maybe you're I don't know. Swimming. Maybe you've never been a swimmer before, but maybe now you can either go to the gym and swim, or you have a pool in your backyard with the summer coming, right? Maybe that becomes your form. But you may have to redefine whether it's due to physical limitations or just due to you don't like that exercise anymore, or maybe it's a sport that you don't play anymore that used to keep you in that athletic mode. You might have to find something new. All righty. How am I doing for time? Oh, pretty good. Not so bad. All right, we're up to number 9, if you can believe that already. Number 9, I said we have 10, but I actually have a bonus one for you at the end. So, number 9, in terms of things for being able to kind of, that get over and ease back into that first day of working out blues, or first week, or first month, just getting back in, is making sure you're getting enough sleep. How many of you struggle to get sleep on a daily basis? Maybe it's due to perimenopause, you've got night sweats. I'm in menopause and it's my night sweats, but maybe it's due to you've got your mind just won't shut off and you're stressed. Who knows? But are you guys getting good sleep? I hope, because if you're not getting enough sleep, it's hard to be resolved to do something. It's easy just to say, I'll do it tomorrow when you're tired. It's easy to get injured when we're tired. If you do go to the gym, you're just maybe not focusing as much or paying as much attention. And you can do things. Hey, how are you? I see somebody else new. I always like to tell new people when they join, if you don't tell me your name and you haven't clicked my link with my streaming service, I am not able to see. So just let me know your name. Whoever just said hi to me, I love to see who's on. But afterwards, I always go back and look on Facebook. I rewatch the replay and I always make sure to comment as well. But it is nice if you can just click that link for the next time, and then I'll be able to see who it is. So back to my sleep thing, right? So I just want to make sure that we are getting enough sleep. So who are my oilers out there listening right now, right? Do I got any essential oilers out there? What are the oils that your go-tos for getting some sleep these days? I'm not a big lavender fan. Lavender, everybody loves their lavender. I don't like the smell of lavender so much, but that's definitely 100% go-to. Lavender and cedarwood are, oh, Denise. Hey, Denise. So lavender and cedarwood are definitely two great oils if you are struggling to sleep at all. Personally, I love to do what's that one? Northern Lights Black Spruce. I love Sacred Mountain. I love Peace and Calming. I just like some of the blends. Those I like, that they kind of chill me out and help me go to sleep. But find what you love, because essential oils can play a big role in helping you get a good night's sleep, and therefore you being motivated to exercise. everything kind of all interplays, right? If we don't get enough sleep, we make a bad choice, so we don't get off our butts in the morning, like we said, and go to the gym. And then because we didn't go to the gym, we start our day and say, "Oh, I didn't go to the gym. Might as well just blow it and eat food that we didn't want to eat." And it kind of starts to snowball. So let's see, lavender, cedarwood, raven. Yes, raven to open up our, our and help our respiratory system as we sleep even better. So yes, excellent. And then another good thing that might help you motivate is new workout clothes. Like I don't know, what about you? But I love getting some new workout clothes. That's like a motivating reason, is right. Just go shopping a little bit, little retail therapy before you get out, you go to work out. So maybe get a new pair of sneakers, a new sweatpants, new yoga outfit, new tank, whatever it is. But pick out something that you love that makes you feel good. Those clothes always make us feel a little tighter, always just make us feel look like we look a little bit better anyways. So just wear something that gives you confidence. So when you start that exercise, you're like already starting like from within, that little extra oomph, that you've got to kind of give it your all. And if you've already got like a whole like drawer full of clothes, well then maybe it's like a new exercise gadget you treat yourself. Maybe it's a new pretty mat that you bring, or a fitness watch, something like that. That might be good. Or maybe it's just maybe you're kind of in a rut with what you listen to. Maybe it's like a new playlist that you do, but just something new like that, right? With new workout clothes and things, whatever it may be, just new is key. Right now, your emotions are playing havoc with your motivation. I hear you. I know. You wrote that the other day how stressed you. I hear you. That's what I was just saying. For 2 weeks now, I've been stressed out of my mind with just different things, and it's amazing how we all, what we let go. Right? We don't let the stress things go. We let the things that de-stress us go. The things that could make us feel better. So Denise, you, me, Dawn, all of us, Barbara, I can see Dana, if we're struggling to kind of Isa, how you pronounce your name, struggling to kind of get back in, we got to find a way to band together and motivate each other to do that. So within our group, if you are one of those people and you get your butt to the gym tomorrow, or tomorrow you maybe do a workout, post a picture for us all and say, okay, I listened to Jill and I did it. I got out there and I walked, around the block, 2 times, whatever it might be. Denise, for you, I know you're working. So maybe for tomorrow, you just like leave your desk, you walk, around even if it's just walking around your house twice and then go sit back down and like let us know, right? At least you know you did something. So, Barbara, what did you write here? One thing that motivates you is to get into your workout clothes first thing in the morning after waking up. Yep, I am totally that way too. They're already like laid out for me, ready to go. Otherwise, if I got to go look for them, forget it. So that's a great tip. I love that. I forgot that one. Perfect. Yes. All right. So I've got one bonus one left to leave you ladies with as you're adding and things in for me. And the best way to kind of ease things back in is, well, you guys know what it is, right? Is for motivation is the essential oils. Always my go-to for everything. It's always to me like the basis for what I do. It kind of is the core of what I do. So if you want to kind of get back into that week of that forget through that first week, I highly suggest you use your oils. Maybe diffuse or roll on some motivation oil, or another oil that really, like a citrus oil. I love orange, that just really picks you up and kind of makes you feel happy and gets you motivated. Um, Maybe take some peppermint and put a drop into your water. For those of you who are experiencing hot flashes, to kind of go and work out or get yourself hot and sweaty is a little overwhelming. So putting a little drop of Vitality peppermint oil in your water can kind of keep you cool from your head to your toe, but it also can give you that a little extra energy. I know so many people who love their peppermint water when they're working out. It's just like the perfect oil for doing that. And then afterwards, you may feel the oh gosh, I just worked out and I haven't worked out in a long while and I'm feeling it here and I'm feeling it here, right? So maybe it's time to go and get your deep relief, which is my go-to. I love. It's easy, it's a roll-on, has wintergreen and peppermint, two great oils just to help you feel better in that way. It helps to kind of support your muscles and your joints. And, over 50, we can still do everything that we want to do, but maybe we have to just, afterwards, maybe the recovery time might be a little bit longer. Maybe we need a little something. So, what do you guys like to use to recover after, a tough workout? What's the oils that you like to put on if you're just feeling those, normal aches that you feel after, you've just overdone it? Barbara, would you write? You love your peppermint. Yeah, peppermint. Peppermint. I got peppermint like everywhere. Like you go in my house, my car. I found one under the seat today in the car. So everywhere. So if you kind of look in my, I don't know how many of you, where this one right there, my No Sweat book, if you've bought it over the past couple of weeks or you've had it, but if you look up in there, there's the DIY recipe for the peppermint spray. So that's a great thing too to have on you when you're working out to keep you nice and cool. Put some water and the peppermint oil and that can help keep you cool as well. And then when you come, oh, I know, I just was looking at my notes here. I forgot. Another thing you can do when you get home from working out is you can soak in an Epsom salt bath with some of that lavender, or some other, like I like to do with a raven for that as well. But some other nice oils and soak in a nice Epsom bath. Just kind of mix your oils in with the Epsom salt first and then kind of sprinkle it into the bath all over. So that's good. You like Orthosport. Oh, yeah. I ran out of Orthosport, and I don't know why I didn't refill it. There is just so many products from Young Living that you just love, and you kind of get on for the. Would you agree with me, ladies? You kind of get hooked on one for a little while, but I ran out of my Orthosport and moved on to my Deep Relief again, and I'm gonna have to refill. Oh, Barbara, that Cool Azul gel. That Cool Azul gel, what I found, I tried that at convention last year when I was actually having a hot flash, and it cooled me down like for so long. So I really like that for kind of multi-purpose. It helps soothe those muscles, and it also is nice to put on before you go to bed if you're kind of helps soothing those muscles and joints. And then also if you are somebody who sweats a lot at night, it can maybe help that sleep transition go a little bit better. So a good one. Excellent. Thank you, ladies, for joining me today and chiming in and helping. I know the ladies who are going to watch on the replay will really benefit from your comments and your input as well. And then you know me, I just don't like hanging out here by myself. So I really, really appreciate you getting on here. And so many of you over this past week, if you are, whether you're with Young Living or you're not with Young Living, you know that I've got my aroma sharing store. You can go to my regular jilllabosky.com page, look for the aroma sharing store. And in there, all of my products that I have are they're already discounted. And then I'm offering everybody in my tribe an additional 10% off with a it's called Got Mojo 10. Got Mojo 10. Put that in at checkout and you'll get an extra 10% off anything that you ordered. And the only thing, actually, that sales are going to go on all the way through the end of June, except for the Midlife Mojo Mega Bundle, which is like all of the products for $199, all 8 products that you get. That's the only thing that is going away on Wednesday when the aroma sharing event ends. But everything else will be available for everybody. And again, if you're not part of Young Living, don't you worry. You aren't getting cheated out of the discounts. Just go to the jilllabosky.com and you can click on the aroma sharing and take care of it there. So thank you, ladies, again for joining me tonight. Hopefully next week we will be back for our regular time, um, Mondays at 2 p.m. Excuse me, scratch that. Mondays at 2 p.m. And for those of you who can't join us during the daytime, definitely watch on the replay. I go back and I see all your comments and I try to comment back. And in the meantime, you guys have a wonderful week. As a reminder, Fridays I do a live at 11:30 Zoom call. There's a link that goes out Friday morning, and that's strictly about intermittent fasting. It's not run like this. There's no structured. I don't have a structured topic. It's just there to answer your questions, to provide any support, pick me up you need, cheer you on if you have any success, celebrate them. Just a chance for anybody who's doing the intermittent fasting to kind of get to know each other so we can support each other on this journey. So that's Friday at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. All right, I am going to send you off with my little thing here.